Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you to today's live on ServiceNow virtual event, Next Generation Customer Experience powered by Qualtrics and ServiceNow. Let's start with safe harbor slide. This presentation may contain forward-looking statement, so please do not take any decisions based on this presentation. Today's session is a part of Live on ServiceNow series, a curated event series to connect you with ServiceNow experts and peers. The sessions are being designated to help you to speed up deployment and also the adoption of our products. We hope you will join us again at another webinar. You can scan this QR code to see schedule of the sessions that are coming. And we'll also put the same link in the chat so you can just copy paste the link at access. A couple of housekeeping items. Please stay on mute. There will be Q&A section after the presentation. You can also use Q&A feature during the presentation to ask your questions. The session is being recorded and the recording will be posted on ServiceNow Community Forum. After the session, we'll post a short survey, so thank you in advance for your feedback. Let's look at today's agenda. We'll start with quick introductions. We'll look at the reasons why we will build this joint solution between ServiceNow and Qualtrics, and we'll also look at what we built. And we'll finish with a demo. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Rafael Christek, and I am a part of ServiceNow Product Management. I did integrations for customer workflows as well as for our industry vertical applications. I have with me today Brandon Hanson from Qualtrics. Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, Rafael. Hey, everybody. My name is Brandon Hanson, and I lead our contact center strategy here at Qualtrics. So my role is to help all of our customers and prospects and companies globally think about the future of their contact center, how to integrate with other systems, and how to drive ultimate value through better experiences for their customers. Thanks for having me.
So, Brandon, why will you build this integration?
Yeah, it's interesting as we think about this world we live in now, particularly coming out of COVID. Experiences really are the modern currency. That's a quote from Qualtrics CEO Zig Serafin. It's very easy for customers nowadays to pick and choose the companies they work with. Switching costs have never been lower. And so as customers are thinking about which vendors they want to work with, which products they want to select, gone are the days where it's just purely a price competition. It's very much around the experience that companies provide to their customers. And it's so critical to get every experience right. So many customers think about, they don't think about the products they work with in a vacuum, right? It's every single experience that they have. And so if you go to the next slide, you'll see some of the research that Qualtrics has done as we think about none of the critical components and the critical nature of every single experiences. And so on the left, you'll see some of our research around 72% of customers say that they will share good experiences with others. So positive experiences, you get this tremendous network effect. You get this share of wallet, share of brand, share of social. As your customers, as they have positive experiences, they will share it with others. On the right, you see the risk here. 8 in 10 customers said that they will switch brands because of a single poor customer experience. And this is fascinating because you think about the brands you work with, the products you work with, the things that you pay for, and how quickly and easily it is for you to switch. And so as you're thinking about the future of your companies and your businesses, you need to understand every single touch point where you potentially have a break and a fail point. And not just understanding that, and that's really why, as we'll show, we've built this fantastic integration with ServiceNow. You don't just need to understand what's broken, you need to understand what you need to do to fix it. And the returns of this are tremendous. Companies that are now investing in this, if you want to go to the next slide, are seeing a tremendous impact in the returns and the revenue that they bring in. So brands with superior customer experience bring in 5.7 times more revenue than competitors. This is fascinating because it outlines the upside and the risk. In competitive markets, the upside is tremendous, where you now can go and create differentiation where you previously didn't have that differentiation. And so the ability to take products and services in a space where you might not be as competitive as you want to be and say, listen, for the next couple of years, our product development plan, it is what it is, right? Some of that stuff is difficult to accelerate, but you can attach the experiences to improve that. And then on the risk side, this is what your competitors are doing, right? All of your competitors are thinking about this. They're thinking about how they can improve this experience. And so there's this great quote here from Michael Ramsey at ServiceNow around what it means now to know your customer. And how do you take the emotion of empathy and mass scale it in every interaction? It was interesting. I took a flight last night, and the flight was delayed by about an hour. And I was already getting in late. It was a red-eye flight. And I got on the airplane, and the pilot got on and talked about the reasons and the cause. And then he paused and he said, "And I am truly sorry for this experience. I know this doesn't live up to our brand standard. I know this is not what you've come to expect from our airline. We will do better." And it was fascinating because I'd never had a pilot, and it was full of empathy. It wasn't just this, we're going to do everything we can to get you off the ground and to your destination as fast as possible. He truly took a moment to express empathy, understanding that it was a late night flight, that it was going to cause people to get in and miss connections. And that alone drove brand loyalty. I said, you know what? I already love this airline. This one interaction wasn't going to make me switch, but I'm not upset. I understand that things happen. And so the ability for that pilot to take that moment and show empathy to me, it changed my entire framing of the experience. I was no longer upset. I was like, all right, I get it. He's sorry. And so a simple apology in that moment of showing empathy did a tremendous amount for me as a customer. And so that's one touch point, right? That's one touch point that we have with, that I had with that airline. But as you're thinking about your customers and the products and the services that you offer, it's incredibly important that you understand all of your touch points. And so you need to understand those touch points that they're having with your brand from an omni-channel perspective. Early in the journey, where they're considering, where they're going through that awareness, and they're potentially using your marketing assets, your digital assets. What do those touch points look like? As they're potentially engaging in a sales cycle, what do those experiences look like? How do you understand the sales journey, the procurement journey, the delivery journey? As they begin to use your products, how do you think about the usage experience, the user experience, the user interface of the product, the functionality? And then from an ongoing perspective, the ease of getting support. Companies don't benchmark you based on the best in your industry. They benchmark you on the best in class overall support experiences that you're having. They benchmark you based on what Amazon is doing in retail and what Apple is doing in consumer products and what Chick-fil-A is doing in fast serve, right? You know what those experiences look like. And customers expect that level of experience. They expect to be delighted. They expect it to be easy, and they expect to accomplish what they're trying to do very, very quickly. And so one of the interesting statistics on the bottom left that some of the research we've done talked about the economic impact of poor consumer experiences being 1.9 trillion across the board. And so this is massive opportunities. And so I think one of the things that I want people to take away coming out of this is no single industry has fully figured this out. No single company has figured this out completely. And so no matter what industry you're in, no matter what space you're in, there is a tremendous opportunity for competitive advantage here, no matter where you are. And so I think, coming out of COVID in particular, we saw this drastic change in perception of companies by customers as everything went remote, it went digital, it went mobile. And so companies had to quickly pivot. And some companies were prepared for it, and some companies are getting prepared for the repercussions of it. But independent of that, companies now have this opportunity, thinking about the next 15 years of business, to say, hey, this is how I want to be perceived as a brand. And so some of the statistics are, they're more likely to trust that organization, they're more likely to recommend that organization, and then they're more likely to purchase from that organization. And so you get this higher share of wallet, you get this higher social network effect. And then as you think about the overall brand equity and brand positioning of your company, you're 4 times more likely to trust that organization. So this is kind of the scenario that exists, and this is what we've seen from a Qualtrics and ServiceNow perspective that exists in the market. And so we said, okay, what can we do to address this? How can we figure out what customers need to actually address the challenges that they're facing in this current stage? So if you want to progress, Raphael, I'll talk a little bit about what we built, and I'll start on the Qualtrics side. And so I'll take just a moment to talk about how we think about the overall experience management ecosystem and architecture. I'll talk a little bit about in a moment about how we actually do it in the platform. But high level, we think about four core lenses of business, four core lenses that every company needs to be thinking about. And it starts with that brand promise and understanding, what is that brand promise that our customers feel, whether we've articulated it or not. How do they understand our brand? And that brand is really the compilation of every experience they've had with us as a brand. And that experience is primarily delivered by the products and services that we offer and by the employees that deliver those experiences. And so what we've done at Qualtrics is we've built out dedicated foundational technology across each of these areas. So from a brand experience, how do you manage and understand your brand experience? How do you manage and understand that brand promise, the perception from your customers, from non-customers alike? And then from a product perspective, how do we understand the product? How do we improve our product? How do we do research under the features, the functionality, the things that our customers are wanting? As you're preparing to launch new products, how do you make sure you get it right? And then how do you ensure your employees are trained properly? One of the pieces of research we've done shows a clear linearity between high employee engagement and high customer satisfaction. And so how do you ensure your employees across every spectrum are highly engaged, highly motivated, and that you're really understanding that experience for the employee? And that really comes to fruition through your customer experience, right? So we want to make sure that you've got frontline interaction data around every touch point that your customers are having, that you've got an understanding of what that experience looks like and how you can improve it. So that's the high level XM architecture. And I'll just take a moment and talk about, in particular for customer experience, which is where we've built this integration with ServiceNow, what that looks like. And so the goal here is to first say, all right, let's understand where are all those listening posts? Where do you have feedback, your traditional surveys? Where do you have conversations? And so that's support conversations, that's chat, that's chatbots, that's emails, where are all these different interactions happening? Then let's look at your social data and say, all right, where do we have social data that's coming through? And where can we pull that? Where have you already got that natively? And let's tie that in with all of your operational data. So thinking about your CRMs, your CDPs, your CCAS systems, any of these data systems where you've got a significant amount of data about that customer. Then let's take that data and do some analytical, sophisticated predictive modeling on that. Let's first, take in from the overall perspective the analytics on the conversations and the chats and the text. Let's use our industry-leading natural language processing, our industry models to say, all right, what are they talking about? Next, we'll say, great, what does that mean? How important were they? How emotional were they about that? What themes and intent can we detect from that? How do we score all these interactions? So now we've got this robust analytical data set that tells us exactly, all right, all of these customers, we've now segmented them. And we're saying, all right, well, now we need to do something with that, right? We've now found, all right, there's customers that are having problems. They're stuck in a journey, or they've let you know they're extremely upset. And so now we said, all right, let's take and drive action off of that. And so now that you've listened and analyzed, let's drive action so that you can truly understand, one, how to optimize your business. So from an outer loop perspective, how do we take all of these insights to improve business processes? But then for the individual customer, how do we close that loop with the customer? And this action layer is really, really all that matters. You can do the analytics, and it's important to have accurate analytics. But if you're not going to act and you're not going to follow up with the customer and you're not going to improve those experiences, it ultimately doesn't matter. And so that's where the ServiceNow integration and application becomes fundamental and transformation. As companies think about, I'm going to take all of this data and understand exactly what's happening and exactly what my customers are saying. And now I'm going to go and do something about it. And that's where this gets really powerful. So that's a little bit about the challenge and the why, and a little bit about what we built from the Qualtrics side. I'll turn it back over to Raphael to talk more about the ServiceNow perspective. And once you've got that insight, How do you take that to ensure that you're driving the appropriate action and closing the loop with stakeholders in the company?
Thank you, Brandon. Let's look now at ServiceNow and how we are using this information that that Qualtrics is providing, and how do we ensure customer service. So let's look at the high-level architecture. We have here our cloud platform with mainly 4 components. We have platform foundation, configuration, intelligence, and at the bottom you can see we have our connectivity. So that's the layer through which we connect with different systems like Qualtrics. And on the top, you can see we have our 4 application domains. We have our customer and industry workflows, employee workflows, technology workflows, and creator workflows. And if we zoom in, we have 2 main components that we'll be using for Qualtrics integration. So we built our solution around these 2 application domains. So we have customer service management on the left side in customer and industry workflows, and employee management, ITSM, on the right side in employee workflows. So employee management, we did already a session last week, so you can go and check it. Today's session focused on customer experience. So we are integrating Qualtrics Customer XM module with ServiceNow CSM module. And we'll see how does it work. So on the left side, we have Qualtrics part, and we are using Qualtrics for data collection and processing. And also we are using Qualtrics sophisticated segmentation of the customers. And then on ServiceNow CSM part, we are using workflows to orchestrate how do we interact with the customer. And also we are using intelligent task routing. And in addition, we are using performance analytics to feedback our integration and to be able to constantly improve the model. So how does it work? The approach is really simple and powerful at the same time. We use Qualtrics segmentation to group customers into 4 segments. We split first the customer based on customer value, so high or low customer value, and then we split again those segments into customer satisfaction. So we are looking at customers that are satisfied or unsatisfied. And then we focus only on high-value customers that are unsatisfied. We provide them with what we call white glove service. To all other customers, we'll just provide standard service. This includes also high-value customers that are satisfied. And this Qualtrics segmentation is constantly updated. So a customer that qualifies for white glove service today may not qualify for this service tomorrow, because we are using real-time context to evaluate customer during the interactions with the customer. So mainly our joint solution has 3 components. We said that on the Qualtrics side, number 1, we are using customer data collection and segmentation. And then the second part that we built, we enhanced a Qualtrics API that brings data from Qualtrics profile, and we're getting all the information about customer segments. Then we built our generate integration action in ServiceNow that calls Qualtrics API, and this action translates the information about the segments into customer KPIs. So then, based on these KPIs, we can do evaluation of the customers. And then, in addition, third part, we built a UI component that expose the information about customers that we are getting this rich customer profile from Qualtrics, and we expose those information to the agent in the call center, so they can have true 360 view of the customer. And the value of our solution, so we improve customer experience because we provide tailored services and we are giving customers what they want at the right moment. We improve through this customer loyalty, and also we reduce the cost to serve because we focus our investment, or we enable the brand to focus their investment into high-value customers that are at risk. So it's really very dedicated segment of the customers that we are serving. So let's look now at the demo how does it work for the customers. And before starting the demo, I would like to walk you through the process so it will be easier for you to understand the demo and we'll be doing the runtime. So the story of the demo goes like this. There is a service interruption and customers experience problems with the service. So the customer will go on a brand website and try to find more information about the outage. And our customers will be interacting through virtual agent through the website. And as soon as customer identifies itself in the system, we'll immediately go and check and retrieve customer profile from Qualtrics. And we'll get the information about customer segments and we'll translate those information into customer value and customer satisfaction. And then we'll do redirection based on this customer profile. So all the customers that are high value and are unsatisfied will redirect to the top level flow, number A. And this will be our white glove service. And in this, for these customers, we'll automatically issue a credit because of the outage. And also we offer optional transfer to the live agent. And as you know, in the call center, that's a very expensive part. For all other customers, so low value customers and high value customers that are satisfied, we'll just offer standard service and we'll offer them subscription to automatic notifications. So actually, the demo we've been seeing, it's the demo path in orange. So we'll have a high value customer that is at risk, and we'll execute a white glove service flow, so top one. And let's look at what will be looking like in the live demo. So we'll have customer Julie Louise that is experiencing issues with the service, and Julie will go on this website, and we'll use in this part ServiceNow virtual agent to interact with the system. And the interaction will go to the ServiceNow backend, and then ServiceNow backend will interact with Qualtrics. So let me switch now to the demo. And here is the brand website that Julie is connected on. You can see in the right corner, Julie Louise already identified herself in the system. And what happened, at the moment she then identified herself in the system, we already went and retrieved her profile from Qualtrics. So we know that Julie is high value customers at risk. And also because of ServiceNow CMDB awareness, we monitor services, and we know that there is an issue with services that Julie is using. So automatically, once Julie identifies her to the system, we'll launch virtual agent. And if we look at this, virtual agent already knows that there is an outage and confirms this to Julie and is asking if she's connecting today to deal with the outage. And she will say, yes, I want to information about the outage. So if we zoom into this, the first thing she sees is that we already were processing, we know about the outage, and we are already processing the rewards. So she was credited automatically, and there is no action required for her. So it's completely seamless experience. And then in addition, we offer her ability to speak with the live agent. So we ask if she would like to speak with the live agent, and Julie says yes. So there is a 1 minute wait to be connected to the agent. So in the meantime, let me show you how does it work on the backend. So here we have the view of our flow designer, which is our graphical tool to design the processes. And you can see here we are in white glove service flow. And as soon as there is, we are coming into this flow, number one, the second step will be look up contact by email. This is the action where we go and call Qualtrics API to get information about the customer and customer segments. In the step 3, we'll process this information and we'll do the evaluation of the data that is coming for this customer. And then if customer qualifies for white glove service, we have this premium support. So we will offer a service credit automatically, and we'll offer also switch to speak to the live agent. For every other customers, we'll just do standard support, and we'll offer the customers to subscribe for automatic notification for the outages. So once Julie connects to the live agent, now we are looking at the view what agent sees on his desktop. So on the left side, we have the chat history already done by the virtual agent. So the live agent can continue. And on the right side, we have information about our customer, about the Julie. So you see the contact information, information about the cases, and also very important, this is this UI component that we added, and with information coming from Qualtrics. So we have customer insights. So first of all, you see very clear indication that the customer is eligible for white glove service. On the left side, you see the metrics that were translated from information about the segments. And you can see that this is the customer of high value and that customer satisfaction is low. And in addition, we are providing agent with the history of recent interactions. So we have 3 last interactions, the customer. So the agent can see really the context of the customer and can understand better this context to serve better customer. So the agent on the left side is just greeting the customer and saying that sorry about the outage. And then Julie, of course, is saying that it's a terrible timing for the outage. There's no good time for the outage. And she's asking if agent can help her to fix the issue faster. So the agent is looking in the system and providing a knowledge article how she can restart her service manually to fix faster the issue. And also, the agent is aware about the context, so is saying that, oh, I see here that you are only a few months away from product upgrade. And actually, we have a program now that offers free early upgrade. And would you like would you be interested in this? And then Julie say, yes, of course, if it can help me, it would be great. And she subscribes for this early upgrade. So like this, she had much better experience despite that there was the outage. And she talked to someone who, she got credit. She talked to someone who helped her to restart the hardware. And also she was offered with the early upgrade. So this concludes our demo. I'll switch back to the presentation. And here we have information about additional resources. So we have 2 parts. We have the part that is for ServiceNow, and on the right side for Qualtrics. Both starts with the main web page. So these are our main web pages that have the information with other references regarding of our joint solution. So you can access this. And now you have also those links, you have also in the notes. So if those links don't work for you, you can take them from the notes of the slides. So now we can switch to Q&A session. Do we have any questions? And I'm looking through the chat. Shami, I don't see any questions. I assume that presentation was so clear that everyone understood.
Looks like we had a question from Lorraine about the workflow applicable to customer XM only. So I'll take this one from the Qualtrics side. So what we've done is we've integrated, and the integration today that we've spoken about is the integration through customer XM. And so with the customer XM on the Qualtrics platform, the integration is there to drive your customer experience program. We have built similar integrations on our employee experience technology as well. And so there's another webinar as well that happened last week, I believe, that speaks to the employee experience transformation technology with the ITSM product from ServiceNow. And so we built kind of all up integrations with Qualtrics and ServiceNow. So independent of what Qualtrics platform you're on, you can run a similar feedback through action process. The one that Rafael showed specifically was around Customer XM and CSM from the ServiceNow side, but we built it across both.
Yes, so we have two integrations. One integration is for the external customers, so that's what we were looking at today. And the last week we had a presentation of the integration for internal customers, so for employees, and it was on last Thursday. And this was also recorded, so if you go on the our website, you can download the recordings and slides as well. Do we have any other questions? Well, if not, thank you very much for joining this webinar. And thank you for listening. Again, this webinar has been recorded, and we'll post the recording and the slides on our community forum.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate the conversation.